Okay, today we have this 65-inch 65-inch Hisense television. And it's a 4K smart TV, just like the TCLs, pretty much, same TV. But let me just show you what it's doing. As you can see here on the right, there is a power button. When I hit it, it is going to flash. Okay, comes on Hisense. As you can see, looks like it's dark on one side. And then it cuts back off and the light turns back to red. So I'm just going to assume that it's probably the LEDs. Sometimes on this particular model and the TCLs, if the LEDs are bad, it will cut the TV off completely. And see, the model number is a 65H6E. This is pretty much kind of like the 75-inch that I did, except that the bezel, it doesn't have all the outer bezel, doesn't have all the screws in back of it. All right, so this should be pretty easy. All right, all the screws are out, so the back cover should just come right up. There's nothing connected to the back cover, I don't believe. Okay, once we get the back off, I actually want to find my power supply or the LED plug, which is connected to the power supply. So we have a power supply over to the left, main board, and our T-Con or timing control board. T-Con for short, right? For the picture. Okay, so, and then of course, can't forget about our driver boards, left and right. At the very bottom there, the long skinny boards right up under the speakers. Okay, and that is responsible for giving data to the pixels to light up so you can see the picture. And that is connected directly to the screen, all right? Right there. Okay, 10 microfarads, 350 volts. I'm hoping that that's our problem, but I don't know, let's see. So first we're gonna check the LEDs. These two pins on the bottom, or two wires, the red and black is one line and the blue and white is the other line. And it is marked negative positive. So here the black is positive and the red one is negative. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to unplug it from the board. Here's my checker. It looks like I've got some swollen caps on the board also. Red lead in the black, on the black wire. And my black wire, the red lead. All right, let's see what we got. We've got action, 92.7 volts, and I can see backlights through the TV, all right, through the holes. As you can see, it is lighting up, okay? Here and there, and these two holes, these three holes, you can see it, all right? And we are steady at 92 volts. I want to check the other side. So positive should be the blue wire, and my black lead should go on the white wire. So check the other line or the other side, and that is reading open, my friends. 335. And just to make sure I'm gonna reverse the leads. It could be a misprint, or sometimes, you know, you never know. All right, just to make sure, and that is open. All right, and back the other way. Open reading, and let's check once again this wire, the other line, which is the black and white wire on the plug. Okay. It's just reverse when you put your leads on it. So red lead on the black wire and the black lead on the red wire. And as you can see, I have 93 volts. Okay. So and it is lighting up, no problem. All right, so that tells us that we do have a backlight problem. Okay. Definitely. Okay. What I'm going to do is obviously safety first. I'm going to disconnect my panel drivers from my T-Con board right here. Okay, so we won't accidentally break it or, okay, we go pull the screen off. And then I'm also, let me see, that should be okay. I can leave this wire here, that's fine. And I'm going to remove my speakers, which are taped with some wires, with some tape, I'm sorry, the wire taped with some tape. Okay, actually I can remove the speaker. There's a clip on, actually on the speaker, so I have to pull the wire out. So let's see, there we go. Wire comes right out. Just squeeze it, pull it out. Pretty much self-explanatory once you see it. That one's there. And on this speaker, we also have the Wi-Fi module, which is connected. All right, on the little speaker frame. So I'm just gonna disconnect the Wi-Fi module. Okay, disconnect the speaker, which is the plug right here, is on top. Okay, just push the clip in so it'll slide out, slid out, and then that is this pull up is actually with these blue tabs on the side here. It's kind of like a pinned in, but just pull it up and pull it up. That's it. The speakers are secure with these two rubber tabs. All right. I'm actually going to try to leave it on the board itself. So actually what I'm going to do is free up that tape, or free up the driver boards. Okay, now, okay, before we turn around and pull the screen out, to make it much easier, and as you can see, there is some tape rounding it. Make sure that you put the tape back on. Okay, so piece here, there's a piece here, and a piece on the end on this driver board, and on the other driver board, same thing, piece on the end right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like on the other one also. So, and then we're gonna have to unclip it to make sure that the driver boards are free. All right, and hopefully I can do that without removing these metal feet supports. So let's see what we can do. Back in case we test drive the TV up before we put it back together. Okay, so it's taped in, so that's good. I'm gonna pull this clip up all the way. Okay, not bad, not bad. That one actually broke. It's weak, obviously, because I barely pull on it. Just pull it up and push the driver boards out. So the driver board is free. Same thing for the other side. But we do have some screws on the very bottom, okay? As you can see, we got one here, right there, all the way down. Looks like maybe about 8 or 10 screws on the bottom. Okay, and that is connected to all the way across to the outer bezel. And I believe those are probably gonna be #1 Phillips. So a little bit smaller than #2 for the screws for the back cover. Okay, as you can see, yes, that's all the screws are out of there. Okay. And what we're gonna do now is put the TV on its back. Okay, so we're gonna take a prior tool, something like this one, and we're gonna have to pry the screen up. Okay, and so what we'll do is we'll start in the middle of each side and then work our way towards the end. Okay, that's usually you're gonna have better luck that way instead of trying to get the ends first, the corner first, because it's gonna be very hard to come up without the middle of this being pried up all the way as far as you can go, and also the top part being pried up as far as it can go. So let's go ahead and flip the TV around. And you're probably gonna have to get on the floor, put the TV on the edge. We got room up here, but I can always start from right here though. Just stick it in there, not too far. Just kind of some little clips. And there we go. Once it gets loose, just keep going right down the line. Well, you can tell what it is coming up. Being careful not to, because you don't want to pull up, push, try to force it up, and then this part actually goes down too far and cracks the screen. You want to do this kind of gently and just pull on it. Just have to find the right little space. As you can see, that is loose, okay? And I'm going to actually move over here. Taking a chance of not looking at my driver boards, but they should be okay since, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're good. And so what we're gonna do this side the same exact way. Start in the middle. Bottom is already loose. And let's try to get this corner, being very careful. Came off pretty easy. Here we go. And that came right off. All right, get this off, out of the way. I'm actually going to take my driver boards, okay, and I'm going to tape them to the screen so they won't get snagged or anything, okay? So you can normally put some tape on it, but since we already have tape, the grounding tape on the board, I'm just going to turn it that way and just tape it to the screen. I'll do two of them, that way the screen will not get snagged or anything when you're moving it, okay? Or the driver boards won't get snagged, because once these ribbon connectors right here, You see there, they have actual ICs inside of them. A little black bar is an IC. All right, and the rest of the connector is the traces. And once that is ripped, that is it. There's nothing you can do. Try to center the TV with your eyes, left and right side, and just put it in the center of the right side. Push down on it a little bit, squeeze it, make sure it doesn't come up, wiggle it, and do the same thing with this side. It's about center on the left side. Okay, push it down, squeeze it, wiggle around. Now let's see how this comes up easy enough. Voila, money in the bank. All right. This is our diffuser screen here in the middle, okay? So now we need to take off our diffuser screen brackets, which are these black pieces. There should be 4, one on each side, and they should overlap. See, this one overlaps this side. And so the sides come out first, then the top and bottom, and it should be pretty easy. Let's see here. Right here, and you just clip that up. You can probably use this or a small flathead screwdriver or whatever you got. Okay, so let's see. There we go. Came right up. And you just figure that out for every side. Oops, I pushed it back in. Try not to break them. Just go on down the line and just keep unclipping the little clips. Just pull on it as you do it. Okay, another thing I'm doing is I'm actually going to mark the bottom right corner. I want to, just so I know how everything goes, I'm going to mark this bottom bracket, all right, and the side bracket. I'm going to put a little blue mark on it, okay, and if there's any metal, I'm going to mark right here on the metal part, the actual chassis, so I know that these two pieces belong down here, and I'm also going to put a small dot right on the diffuser screen, okay? All right, so I know where everything goes once I put it back together, all right? And so like I said, take off the sides first, diffuser screen brackets, and then top and bottom. Just unclip it off, you will actually see the clips on there. Now another thing before I forget to mention this is that when you're putting the TV back together, make sure all those clips and all the sides are flush down and even. All right, you don't want anything sticking up. Make sure they're all clipped in, because once you put the screen on and put the outer bezel back on, if any part is sticking up from these brackets being unsnapped or whatever all around, you are going to crack the screen. So just run your finger across it, look at it 3-4 times, make sure that it is flush, and make sure there are no gaps between the diffuser screen bracket and the actual diffuser screens. I've got all 4 of my brackets off. Now, for to remove the diffuser screens, we've got one thin one. Okay, you cannot get these reversed backwards. They have to be in the exact same position as you took them off. Okay, so there is some tape that is taped onto at the very top, right here. Pull it off, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there are some holes and stuff. All right, so it only goes on one way to make sure it's not backwards. And this, we'll have one thin one. The shiny part or the smooth part is always facing down. The rough part is always facing up. And then we have a thick one, okay? Same way, if you want, you can put some tape around it. Just a little tape on the edge, just make sure they don't slide apart, you don't get confused. I'm just gonna keep these together. And now we have our paper, which is probably going to be a bitch to get up. But I'm also going to mark that same corner on my paper. Just gonna put the paper back on, I don't know which way it goes. Right there. All right, guys, we're now to our LEDs, okay? And so all we have to do now is pull the paper off and take these clips out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that what that does is give some space between the screen and the LED light, so you won't see those circles in the screen or in the picture. And so, what did I say? They slide to the left. Yeah, they're gonna slide that away. So basically all I have to do is get something up through there like a small screwdriver. All right, I'm gonna get in the middle. Oops, broke one of them. All right, very carefully, like they're all breaking. Wow. That's fine, because they do break. We just put some tape on it, because we definitely have to put those back in there. And look at that, they're all breaking. That's crazy. There's no way I can get this up without putting something up under here. Okay, we'll save that one. And obviously these here, fortunately, are under the paper, so we're good. Now, when you're taking this paper off, yeah, they really glue that down in most televisions pretty hard now. I remember about, 7, 8, 9 years ago, they really didn't. It would come off pretty easily, but they really tape this down, and you gotta try not to tear it, because what happens if you do tear it, and when you put it back together, you're gonna see the little shadows in the white paper for the background. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start in the corner here. I'm just gonna if you do tear it, that's fine. Just use some tape and some clear tape, or even better, if you have some white tape, you can avoid that. Okay, so now that we have our paper up, let's go ahead and fire it up, and we can see what's going on here. All right, so got our power button here. I'm gonna actually plug it in. I'm gonna plug it in, okay, and see what we got going on here. Power button is steady red light. I'm gonna hit it. Flashing, and as you can see, one side is not lit up. So obviously we have a bad LED strip on this side of the TV. And as you can see, it just cut off. See which one is bad, because we was getting an open reading on that one line. So we have one line controlling this side. That was probably the line I was lighting up. The red and the black plug and the blue and the white plug is for that side that is not lighting up onto my left. Okay, Alright, so I got my LED tester. People have been asking me, if you don't have an LED tester, what can you use? Really absolutely nothing. I'm sorry. You can use a power supply, or an adjustable DC power supply, or like this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, you know, that's what 6 times 3 is 18 volts. Just put in like maybe like 30 volts, something like that for the strip. If you're just trying to test the strip. On there, one is marked plus, and the other one's marked minus, if you can see that, okay, on each strip. And all the strips light up. They are lighting up pretty slowly. Matter of fact, let's just unplug this because these are connected. Looks like in a series. Let me see here. Okay, we got a couple flashing. Same here. One is not lighting up there. Let's go over here to the bad side. Right, it's not lighting up. LED lights from TVs usually come in either 3 volt or 6 volts. That's at 17 volts. They're all lighting up. Okay, one is flashing. Okay, back to the other side. Plus here, minus. Got one flashing. This is our culprit right here. This is one with an open LED. All right. One missing. We got actually 4 out here. 3 out there on that one. A little marker right there. So if I want to check them individually, I can just go positive, and it is marked negative. Yeah, and see that is a 3 volt. It's reading 2.9 on my LED tester, so that is a 3 volt. Okay, this one wouldn't light up at all. All right, so we got probably just one bad LED on it. I mean, one open one, that's what I'm trying to say. And it is the first one that's open. Okay, we'll try the second one. That's lighting up, if you can see that. 3 volts, okay. That one's good. Should have approximately 9 volts. That one's good. And I can't tape this over that one. So, we're just gonna replace them all. Hopefully, I have the right ones. So I'm just gonna mark these here, okay? And mark the ends. And if you want, you can mark the front part of it, just so I know how to put the new LED strips in. I want to make sure that's lined up correctly. Now, there's some holes in here in the strips and some holes in the actual metal chassis, or some little indentations or little grooves, but I just prefer to mark it. And you see how I just marked every one on the end, okay? And just do these one by one so you can kind of figure it out. So I'm just gonna start with this one, and they're glued down slightly. Just push it down, pull it out, pull out the plug, and pull it up. Okay. One of these, see, that's how they get it glued down with that. On my new ones, and you can actually punch a hole in it if you want, but it's easier just to line it up using a marker. And when I pull the paper off, this blue paper, not the whole thing, okay? Pull the blue paper off. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to start down here at the end and try to use this hole right here, and then right here in the center to these 2 markers, and there is no hole this way, there's a hole right there. And sometimes you kind of feel it if you get it over the hole, and that's it. All right, that's good. And I can also mark the old ones, so I don't get that confused. Okay, so dot, 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 and do the other ones on this side. These are all the old ones. Okay, so I know which ones are the old ones, so once I start mixing them around, then I'll know. And for the next one right here, we'll do the same thing. You may have to use small screwdriver. This one's coming out pretty easily, all right? So I'm gonna pull the paper off. The blue part, okay? Ooh, I broke my finger now, wow. This is a dangerous job. I'm gonna put this, I got the blue paper off. I didn't punch a hole in this, but sometimes you can actually feel where the hole is. You see if I line up on the end, I can actually feel where the hole is. Like I said, if you want, you can actually, like I said, just take a screwdriver and just punch it. You can just punch it. Now I'll go this way. Punch the hole in it. So got that in. Now I'm going to make sure that I plug each one of these in. I'm going to just unplug them all first. Okay. And then make sure that you plug each one in as you put it in, because if you forget, you know, the TV is not going to light up, right? And quite naturally. Okay, so I got 2 in so far. And I'll just go ahead and do the third one for you. Just go ahead and pry up one side. Okay, pretty easy. Again, pull that off. I'm gonna punch that last hole, or the hole on the end down here that goes into. All right, so I know that I do have it lined up, at least from over this side. Okay, and I just go in between these 2 lines I have, and that should be perfect. All right. So guys, just do that for the entire. What's going on here? Oh, okay. For the entire TV, all 12 of the strips. Okay, guys, I've got all of my strips in. One thing that you definitely want to do is, with a lot of strips like these, is just always make sure, double check and make sure the plugs are pushed all the way in. Because I've had a few where I put the new strips in and the TV was not coming on, and I went crazy, like, okay, what could it be? Checking the power supply and all that. Found out one of these plugs was not pushed all the way in. I had it in like that, and I went to push it in. Click, and that was the problem. Now, before I put the paper on, we would test fire this up. What I'm going to do is actually turn the TV back around and look at those swollen caps on the power supply, because they look like the caps for the LED circuit. It's good to use gloves. Those swollen capacitors right there. There's 3 of them. Actually, this one's good. These 2 are swollen. They're 10 mics at, I'm not sure, but if you're a techie, you work on TVs, make sure that you have those 10 microfarad at 350 volts or even 450, because that is the most common problem with LED circuits. As you can see, I've got a whole bag. I've also keep some of my toolbox when I go out in the field, definitely. And these are actually, if you can see that, these are actually 10 mics at 450. Okay, so we replaced these capacitors, and hopefully, let's go ahead and plug her in. Okay, we got a red light. Let's go ahead and lift it up. Fire it up. Voila. Looks like we are in good shape. All right. That is super bright. Okay. I do have a few tears in here in the paper. So I'm going to try to make this as even as possible. I got my, hopefully I got this on here correctly. Everything lines up. I'll probably end up putting some tape on some of this stuff here. I'm gonna make sure that this is all lined up correctly. Gonna put a piece right there. Probably a smaller piece here. That would be another piece right there. Okay, now as for these, I want to use as many of these as I can, and I'm going to kind of evenly spread these out. Push it to the locks. That's not going anywhere. I'll use the ones that are broken. I want to see if they're going here. I'm going to put a little piece of tape across it. Should be fine. Yep, it's not going anywhere. Okay, that's good. And where am I missing one? Right here. Okay. Hey guys, if you already work on televisions or other electronics and want to learn more about television repair, make sure you check out the Art of Troubleshooting and Repairing Modern Televisions. This is an intense, detailed, easy to understand, online television repair course designed to show you how TVs work by covering important circuits and sub-circuits. You are not going to find anything like this online, especially in the English language. Students also have an online community where they can post videos, pictures, and ask questions about TV repair. The entire course is step-by-step instructions covering every circuit from the power cord to the power button in that order. And that, my friends, is the art. Knowing how the television works from start to finish. All the trainings include live PowerPoint presentations showing you in detail how all the circuits work, and also live hands-on trainings putting you right there in the action. This entire course is expected to be completed by midsummer, but you do have access now for a special pre-launch price, and it presently includes over 8 hours of intense, detailed, easy to understand trainings. And my name is Robert. I've been working on television for 30 years, and I wish I would have had a course like this about 10 years ago. That would have absolutely shortened my learning curve. If you want to see a 15-minute demo demonstration of the course, just go to my channel, Big Dog 8882, and check out the TV repair course update and live course footage. And that has over 15 minutes of raw footage from inside the course. So guys, what are you waiting on? Click the link below or in the video somewhere, and I will see you in the course. Big Dog out.